Hello and welcome back to another video. This is still included in station 1 of our videos on within the Chemistry to Scrubs prep program for you guys. So if you're having trouble trying to learn how to do the English to metric conversions, why don't you go ahead and join us in our program? And it is very exclusive because we only target information for the chemistry part as well as scientific reasoning as a bonus. So if you all want to learn more, let's get into it. All right, so for today's lesson, we're going to get into the English to the metric and the metric to the English, where you'll need something like this handy dandy guide that you guys see here. So let's go ahead and get into our first problem that you all will have to do for your T7 exam and also when you get into the nursing program. All right, so here is our first problem. A patient with congestive heart failure is on a strict fluid restriction. For breakfast, they consume 6 ounces of coffee and 4 ounces of cranberry juice. How many milliliters of fluid should the nurse document on their intake chart? So here's what we're going to do for this particular problem. First off, what you have to understand is that they are consuming 2 different types of drinks, right? Well, here's the catch. With them consuming 2 different drinks, you need to get the total. So that's 6 ounces plus the 4 ounces, and that just gives you 10 ounces. But something else that you need is this particular conversion right there. So to document this, you're going to take the 10 ounces, and remember, the unit you are striving for goes on top. So I'm going to, in essence, put 30 milliliters on the very top. And on the bottom, the units that I want to get rid of are the 1 ounces. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel out those ounces, and I'm going to multiply 10 times 30. That's going to give me 300 milliliters. All right, it's that simple. So far, so good. In our next example here, you're going to do a conversion for Fahrenheit to degrees Celsius. Now, here's the thing with these types of problems. When you read them, you can read them for information, but then you want to get the meat out of what you need to do. So it says, a post-operative patient develops a sudden spike in temperature, reading 101.3 degrees Fahrenheit on the tympanic thermometer. The facility's electronic health record system requires temperature documentation strictly in degrees Celsius. What is the patient's temperature in degrees Celsius? So what they told you was the patient had a reading of 101.3 degrees Fahrenheit. So what we're going to do is take the degrees Celsius and say that's equal to 101.3 degrees Fahrenheit minus 32. And then you're going to divide that by 1.8. So let's go ahead and grab our calculator. And we're going to plug in 101.3 minus 32, and we get 69.3 divided by 1.8, and we get 38.5 degrees Celsius. That is our answer for this particular problem. Let's move on to the next one. Inches to centimeters wound measurement. A home health nurse is assessing a pressure injury on a patient's sacrum. Using a standard household ruler, the wound measures 2.5 inches in length. Hospital protocol requires wound dimensions to be charted in centimeters. What is the length of the wound in centimeters? So what we know here is that 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. So what you're measuring here, though, is the patient's wound was 2.5 inches, but you're converting that to centimeters. So therefore, the unit that I want to get rid of, I'm going to put 1 inch on the very bottom. What I'm going to convert to is going to go on the top, which is the 2.5 centimeters. All I'm going to do now is cancel out my like terms. Those inches gets canceled out. So when I plug in 2.5 times 2.54, I get 6.35 centimeters as my answer. Make sure that you all are able to do these problems right along with me. Read the problem, and you may want to pause your screen before you see the actual solution. All right, let's go ahead and go to the next one. Grams to pounds. A pathology report from an exploratory laparotomy states that an ovarian cyst weighing 900 grams was successfully excised. The family asked the nurse how many pounds the cyst weighed. Convert 900 grams to pounds. Now, in this particular example here, they gave you grams, right? 900 grams. Well, one thing you're going to have to do is, in order to use this conversion here of 1 kilogram equivalent to 2.2 pounds, you need to first convert your 900 grams to kilograms. Using this conversion here, I'm going to put my 1,000 grams on the very bottom, on top 1 kilogram. Now, I'm going to continue this conversion process here, and I'm going to put 1 kilogram on the bottom and 2.2 pounds on the top. Again, all you have to do is remember to cancel out your like units that you no longer need, and what you have left over are the pounds, and that's what you are looking for. So I'm going to simply say 900 times 2.2 and then divide that by 1,000, and I get 1.98 pounds as my final answer. So far, how do you feel? Make sure you comment below what you want to see more of. If these examples are fairly simple, would you like to see something a little more interesting in terms of steps? If so, make sure you comment. And here is the next example here. Household volumes. So now you're going from milliliters to quarts. A thoracentist procedure successfully removes 1,000 milliliters of pleural fluid from a patient's lungs. To help the family visualize the volume removed using standard household containers, convert 1,000 milliliters to quarts. So in this case right here, they removed 1,000 milliliters, right? So on the bottom, I'm going to use this conversion here and place in the 960 milliliters on the bottom. I need to put my 1 quart on the top. And remember, milliliters is going to get canceled out. So when you say 1,000 divided by 960, you get 1.04 quarts. All right. Let's go ahead and proceed to the next problem. The discharge equation, milliliters to tablespoons. A patient is discharged on a liquid medication regimen of 30 milliliters orally every morning. The patient reports they do not have a metric syringe or medicine cup at home, but they do have standard household cooking spoons. Convert 30 milliliters to tablespoons. So in this particular example here, you see that there is 1 teaspoon, which is equal to 5 milliliters, and 1 tablespoon is equal to 15 milliliters. You only need one of those. The one that I would use is the one associated with the conversion that you need, and that's tablespoons and milliliters. So on the bottom, I'm going to put 15 milliliters using this conversion factor here. And on the very top, 1 tablespoon. Again, milliliters gets canceled out. So 30 divided by 15 milliliters gives us 2 tablespoons. Now, normally they will provide you with the correct syringe measurements or the correct medicine cup, because we don't want to guesstimate what it should be using our household utensils. Sometimes they're not always as accurate. So just FYI. With these couple of examples that we've shared, I hope that this has been very instrumental in helping you guys see how going from the metric to the English system is not bad at all, or going from the English to the metric or metric to the English is quite simple. You do have to memorize some of these conversions if you want to gain more access, but listen, it's all good if you just simply take the basic steps that you need. Now, if you want to be a part of our Chemistry to Scrubs Academy, make sure that you guys go ahead and click the links below, and it'll give you access to everything that you want to learn. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and show you all a preview of what our course offers. So here's our Chemistry to Scrubs Academy. So Mel, why don't you go ahead and make sure that you join the other future nurses in our signature master course. Here are some of the things that you will find inside. So each of our stations, instead of calling them modules, we call them stations. So your orientation shift has all the information that you need in order to learn how to be successful in this class. Station 1 are the vital signs of matter, where you're going to learn all about matter. And guess what? We also have videos and what we call intake forms, which is basically your PDF files of all the information that you need to learn about it. You also will have quizzes. Station 2 is called the Dosage Details, which is what we're talking about right now. And there is so much information inside this particular module as well, aka our stations. We have many other stations that you all can check out. Station 3, Station 4, Station 5, Station 6, Station 7, which is the bonus station on scientific reasoning, because you will encounter that on your T7 exam. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, and also don't forget to like this video, share this video, and comment on things you would like to see Professor TK the Chemist do for you guys. Have a great rest of your day, and remember, chemistry doesn't have to be hard as long as you have the right tools and things that you need in order to ensure your success. You will pass that T7 exam. All right? Take care and have a great rest of your day.